Have you ever wondered if a photographic memory is actually a real thing? Well, today we're not just going to answer that question, we're going to give you the actual tools to build a memory that feels like a superpower, and we're starting right now. Okay, so first things first, let's get a sense of just how powerful your brain is. It's an absolute powerhouse. I mean, scientists estimate its storage capacity is somewhere around 2.5 times million gigabytes. That is just an incredible, almost limitless amount of space for information. So, if that's true, why do we forget things all the time? Well, you're definitely not alone. Even a grandmaster of memory, a guy named Nishant Kasibaflaw, he admits that before he trained his mind, he had the exact same frustration. Information would come in super fast, but it would leave just as quickly. And that really brings us to the core question here. Are people with these incredible memories just born that way? Is it a gift? Or is it a skill that, any of us can actually learn? The answer? Well, it might just surprise you.
All right, let's dive right in. First up, we've got to tackle the biggest myth of all, this idea that some people are just born with a perfect photographic memory.
So, as it turns out, that whole concept of a photographic memory, or eidetic memory as it's technically called, it's pretty much a myth for adults. It's the super rare ability that, if it exists at all, tends to fade away after childhood.
So here's the crucial point, the big takeaway. Memory champions don't have different brains. They just use their brains differently. They actually train them. I mean, Nishat Kasabhatla, the memory grandmaster we mentioned, he tells this story about how he used to struggle to remember a simple 5-digit phone number. And get this, brain scans totally back this up. When memory athletes are doing their thing, they light up the parts of their brain tied to spatial memory. This proves it's all about neuroplasticity. They are literally rewiring their minds through practice. It's not about the hardware you're born with. It's about the software you decide to install.
Okay, so if it's a skill, how do you actually build it? Well, it all comes down to 4 really crucial habits that can completely transform the way you learn. The big goal here is to shift from what we call shallow learning, just passively rereading stuff over and over, to deep learning. Think of it like this. Shallow learning is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. Yeah, you might move a little, but man, it's a struggle. Deep learning, on the other hand, is like putting high-grade fuel in that same car. It's efficient, it's powerful, and it creates these really strong, long-lasting connections in your brain. And these 4 habits, that's the high-grade fuel for your mind. It all starts with really paying attention. Then, you have to truly understand what you're learning. After that, you strengthen it by actively trying to recall it from memory. And finally, you lock it all in by intentionally applying it. Okay, let's get into our first major technique. This is where we build a practical framework for all this. It's a really cool ancient system called the memory palace. This technique, it's also called the method of Lassi. It was actually used by ancient Greek orators to remember these crazy long speeches, and it works by tapping into something your brain is already amazing at, remembering places. All you do is associate new information with specific spots in a place you know really well, like your own home. And the best part is, you can build one right now. Step 1, pick a place you know like the back of your hand. Your house is perfect. Step 2, map out a really specific route through it, say from your front door, past the shoe rack, and into the kitchen. Step 3, and this is the really fun part, you turn the things you want to remember into these wild, bizarre, unforgettable images. Step 4, you place those images at each spot along your route. And finally, step 5, to remember everything, you just take a mental walk through your palace. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say the first item on your shopping list is carrots, and your first location is your front door. Don't just picture some carrots, no way. Instead, imagine giant, bright orange carrots being used as a key, and they're like struggling and squeaking as they try to unlock your front door. The more absurd, the better. See, the more ridiculous and multisensory you make that image, the better it's gonna stick. Exaggerate the size, make it funny. Imagine the sound those carrot keys are making, or even the smell. What you're doing is creating a much, much stronger memory trace in your brain. So the memory palace is kind of like the power drill in your mental toolkit. It's super versatile and really strong. But, for different jobs, you're gonna need different tools. So let's look at a few more of those tools. First up is chunking. We all do this instinctively with phone numbers, right? Breaking that long string of digits into smaller, manageable bits. Then there's the peg system. This is awesome for ordered lists. You use simple rhymes like 1 is a bun, 2 is a shoe to create these little mental hooks for each item. And finally, the storytelling method, where you weave all the items into one big, wild story.
And remember, the crazier the story, the better you'll remember it.
But here's the thing. All of these techniques, they're really just the beginning. This is the ultimate secret. True mastery isn't about how many facts you can cram into your head. It's all about what you do with that knowledge.
Yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head. The goal isn't to become a walking encyclopedia. It's to use what you know to solve problems, to create something new, or to make a real impact in the world. Think about it this way. It's the difference between a chef who just collects cookbooks and one who actually gets in the kitchen and cooks an amazing meal. You can learn all the techniques in the world, but it's only when you apply them that you create something truly meaningful.
So there you have it. A supermemory isn't some magical gift. It's a skill. And you now have the keys to start building it. The only question left is, what are you going to unlock first?